Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it as always. Just checking out Tasty Trade today. My account, this model portfolio is looking pretty good. Look at this darn K Silva up 7.2%. GDXY 3.4, blocks up 2.8. Come on, blocks. K Gold, Misty. I mean, look, even Alti's getting in on the action. Up 1.1. K Yield up 1.5. Anyway, great to see that. All right, let's look at some charts. Of course, the market's going up. So that's what happens when the market goes up. I think I have 85% of those ETFs are long. I have about 15% short in there. But so yeah, of course, I should be up when the market's up. Anyway, look at the NASDAQ here. Close to taking out this local high. That'd be great. Those are NASDAQ futures. Let's look at S&P futures. Same deal. We're getting ready to come up and challenge a local high ourselves. Let's look at SPY. Did it gap this morning? I haven't looked at the SPY charts yet. Actually, yeah, it did. It gapped down this morning, it looks like. Anyway, and now it's back. And now it looks like it gapped down. Was that right? Yeah, it gapped down, and now it's back up in the previous day's trade range. And we're very close to yesterday's settle. Breakout. Let's look at IBIT as a proxy for Bitcoin. You can see there's this big void in the chart right here that's going to be overhead supply. And anytime it's got close, it has been so far. So I'd expect sellers there. But anyway, the buyers need to go start challenging the sellers, chewing through the sell orders that are presumably there. Maybe they aren't there. People cancel orders, but I'd say that part of the chart is suspect. Anyway. All right. So let's look at the divas. Great day to be a diva. Let's look at blocks. Blocks is gapping on their 30-minute chart. Of course, these things aren't super liquid. But anyway, that's great to see. So let's zoom back and let's get kind of a bigger view. Let's look at the daily chart on the divas. This is with dividends turned on, factored in. And man, blocks did great off the get-go. Gave it all back and is now, dividends. Is now back to doing, hopefully back to, if they can at least get on the positive side of their moving average, which they are. All right. That's blocks. Let's look at ULTY. So far cannot get on the positive side of their moving average, but when they've done that in the past, like back here, good things have happened. But as long as they're on the bad side, I mean, bad things could keep happening. Who knows? Anyway, it's good to see Alti up today. Let's check out ULTI from Rex. Now, this one is only up about half as much as ULTY from YieldMax. Anyway, whatever, it's up 53 basis points. It's going the right direction. Hopefully this thing's seen its bottom. And then the most hopeful of the divas is K-Yield. And sure enough, K-Yield has the strongest chart, just comparing them. K-Yield's making progressively higher. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know. I showed you this the other day. K-Yield is highly correlated, it would appear, to the Qs. Look at the Q's chart and look at K-Yield's chart. Now, whereas look at like Alti and not highly correlated, not as highly correlated the Q's, but you could look at and that's just pretty much that's Now, granted, 2 months ago they did some different stuff, but I'm saying this chart's looking back 2 years. For the past 2 years, they've been highly correlated with Bitcoin. And recently they've changed some stuff around, but I mean, just on the chart wise, it still looks about the same for what it's worth. All right, what are you guys up to over here? You guys behaving over there in the comment section? Looks like we have a good crew this morning. We got 9 of you here. We got Dividend Degenerate, William. We got Mark in the house, Marcus. All right, so let's look at some other stuff. All right, so let's compare ULTI. I think I'm going to think it's going to be more correlated to Bitcoin as well. And from the limited sample we have, I mean, it's looks pretty dang close. Anyway, whereas you wouldn't say that ULTI is correlated to this chart doesn't look much like this. I really think K yield is more of a, anyway, you guys know what it is. K yield's just more focused on, safety and big tech and stuff like that. All right, so I did have the Dividend Degenerates is, or not degenerates, the Dividend Degenerates. The Diversified Divas. I should make it the Dividend Degenerates. That's a great name, though. The Diversified Divas all in one dashboard is working, and I like to see that. It was updated about a half hour ago, so the prices may not quite be what we saw live on the chart. But still, if we look over here at this chart on the left, this is since the inception of K-Yield and ULTI, which were the supposed alti killers. And well, one of them is killing alti, and one of them isn't. But anyway, they had an IPO on that date, so we just started all of them fresh on that day. We also looked at ULTI and Blocks, which are also huge divas. Anyway, Blocks is doing a little better on a total return basis. It's still down 15.4. ULTI down 16.9. ULTI, I mean, come on, ULTI, it's down 24. At least it's not down 35 anymore. I mean, but of course it should be. The market's going up. So, of course, we can look here. Which one? Blocks is up the most. Let's look at Blocks' stocks. And you can see just about everything they have in their screen today. Their big green ones are Cypher. I mean, Bitfar. I mean, you could see everything's going great for these guys today. They hardly have anything that's down. Weeble's off a little bit and Circle's off a little bit. In the Alti universe, the ULTY universe, you have, I'd say about, 2/3 up, maybe 1/3 down. But you have some big winners here. Usual suspects, Iron. You have some big losers. You have a couple of big losers. New Scale Powers off a couple percent. Anyway, so that's Blocks. Then we have, let's look at K yield really quick and see what's going on over here. Jackson, you can't be hungry. There's no way. Jackson, come here. Jackson, there's no way. There is no way, Jackson. That's it. I just gave him a full ball right before I came on, but anyway, I just scooped a little bit on top of this. I gave him one more little handful. All right, Jackson, come on. What's going on? And what did you do to my computer? Oh shoot, the second monitor's been messing up. But that's interesting though. This diagnosis a problem. It's messing up on my end. So it's the display. It's not you guys. It's not. It looks fine here. I can look at it fine here, but it's all messed up there. Anyway, I think I have a bad HDMI cable. But by and large, I've really been liking this new setup. I guess we can just look over here. Let's look at ULTI. I can just, for some reason, this one's been jacked up. I keep forgetting to fix it. Well, anyway, you can see all of them are doing well. I mean, all of them are doing well. It's a great day to be those guys. All right, so let's do this. Here, I'm going to go jiggle my display cable. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Let's look at some other stuff. I have some other stuff planned to show you, but it's on this other display. We're going to look at that. I know I need to share the screen. I know I need to share the screen. I'm just getting this other display working. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I don't forget to share the screen. This is 2026. That's stuff I did in 2025. That's the old me. The new me's not going to forget to share the screen anymore. Let's look at stock tools. You can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Any new ETFs out there that you're looking at, anything like that, put it in the comments. Let's just look at the one-day total return of these, of the entire universe of these funds. Okay, it'll take you a second to come up. Thank you guys for your patience. So, yeah, so that's good to know, because I keep on wondering if that's a display cable or something else. But actually, when I went and jiggled with it, it feels like it feels like it's the connection's loose or something. But anyway, whatever. I know how to fix it now. All right, let's look at these. All right, best ETF of the day. Are you serious, Bobo? 7.54%. BTGD, go figure. I mean, Bitcoin's doing great. Gold's doing great. Up 4%. That's great. BITX, I have some of that. That's good to see. MST, I don't have any of that, thank the good Lord. But for people that are, Jackson, what's going on, buddy? Come here. What's going on? Jackson? You can't be serious, Jackson. You can't be serious. All right. All GDXY is looking good. Even Morrow's looking good, of course. Maxi, AMDY, XBTY is having a good day. Look at over here. Blocks usually lots of times doesn't make it to these lists, but it's on there today. Huey's on here Huey's on here a bunch. It's on here today. Maybe not so much lately. It used to be more a couple months back. But anyway, all right. That's the 1 day. That's the 1 day returns versus the parents. Well, I didn't really talk about the parents though. That was just the 1 day returns of some prominent high yield funds. Jackson, what's the matter? Can you not stick your head in there and get a piece of food if you want? I just took the top off his food thing, and he's just looking at me like, yeah, I want you to take it out and put it on. Jackson, what do you want? I don't know what you want. You are the strangest dog, Jackson. All right, let's look at the 1 week. On a 1 week basis, fund of the week is AMZW, Chippy, killing it, Soxy, killing it, TSMY, GDXY, Winter, BTGD, AMZP, Murney, GOOW, AMZY. Those are all killing it. Jackson, what do you want? Is that what you want? He's a strange dog. All right. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? Hope my glasses get here today. I can't see. Hey, Mayor, I just got your email. Mayor just sent me an email. And I am doing well, Mayor. And let's mention, in fact, let's investigate. Mayor sent me this new hot shot fund. Now I've heard of it before too. I just haven't mentioned it in a while. XRMI. And he sent me an article about it, and I need to make sure that it's included in the max factor and everything. I used to do this. It's some kind of hedge thing. I think it's a hedged equity thing. And I remember I liked the idea of it a long time ago. And it looks like a hedged equity. You can tell by looking at it. When the market dropped there in April, nothing, it's just a flat line, now, but just like a hedged, or just like one of those hedged or buffered funds, SPY's up 34%, right? Is that, well, this is only over half a year. Did I type that in right? Yeah. SPY's up, well, anyway, whatever. I mean, it gives up upside, but it doesn't look like it won't go down either. So yeah, I'm going to look into that, Mayor. Thanks for mentioning that. You don't think WPay should be equal weight? Yeah. Is YMAX equal weight? I'm just curious. I am just curious. All right. So, who did an Iron Condor? Well, anyway, congratulations on the Iron Condor. I don't have enough courage usually to do Iron Condors because I don't like betting against the bullish side. But anyway, whatever. I'm a panicking. Jackson? He just doesn't like when I talk on the internet. He's like a teenager that acts up. Dad gets to the promotion at the office and doesn't have time to play ball with him anymore, and Tommy gets on dope. That's how Jackson is. Jackson, you've got to be kidding me. That's the last little scoop of food. And also, I've been trying to cut back on his food. When I gave him a bowl, but I gave him about a half a bowl a little bit ago before I came on. So I'm trying to cut back on his food, but then, anyway, whatever. All right. All right. So let's look at some other stuff. But yeah, that XRMI, Mayor, that XRMI definitely looks interesting, and we'll look into it. Let's look at the old market dashboard. Market dashboard. Okay, so I mean, it's a good day. I mean, the Dow Jones is down a little bit, but everything's up. Here's something that's concerning: is everything's up and volatility's up too. Usually, volatility is supposed to be down when the market's up. Sometimes when the market's up and volatility's up, it can be sign of it. This getting toppy, or whatever. But in any event, all right. So. Sector performance heat map. It's all about consumer staples today. So that'd be XLP, and we have XLPI, I think, is in the max factor. Why does it do that? I guess that's cool. Okay. I guess that's cool. But it's a good day for everything. Real estate's down a little bit. I guess everything outside of financial. All right, so now let's go over here and look at, in my own Tasty Trade account, nothing is down. Salty's down, but it's only down 0.1%. I'm fine with that. It's a cost. Whatever. Fiat's down. I don't have much of it. TLTW's down. I don't have much of it. But all these ones that I have a good amount of, and I'm thinking of like BITK and K Silv and K Gold, and they're just absolutely killing it today. My balance is as high as it's been in a couple of months, and I still need to do my rebalance. So anyway, all right. All right. So what else are you guys up to? Marcus is saying WiMAX is equal weight, but since it's only doing covered calls, it's not the same. Well, good point. Yeah, WPay being equal weight is making it a bit harder for it to appreciate. And you're saying WiMAX, since they do covered calls, they aren't going to appreciate anyway, basically, right? I mean, not a whole lot anyway. They do a little bit, but I'm just joking. But that's the weakness of covered calls. You have to give up your upside. Hey, David, happy Monday. Happy Monday. All right. Well, that's about all I had to show you guys. I guess we could look at the. I'm not great at getting around. I don't like how they handle the multiple Chrome accounts, or I'm not real comfortable with it. Anyway, the index buffer report's never that much to look at. We've looked at stocktools.app. And that's better than the index buffer anyway. So that's all I had. That's the only other thing I had to talk about. So I'll just let you guys go unless you guys have something else on your mind. Marcus is saying WPay's leverage, so it's definitely more of an issue for the Well, and I wasn't thinking about the leverage. I was just thinking, the covered calls not getting a lot of upside anyway, just by the nature of them. But yeah, the leverage also adds in an extra dynamic. I really haven't. So I guess, okay, back to the Divas real quick. Marcus brought, how bad is that one? I just haven't been looking at it. I mean, is that one really WPay? Yeah. I mean, gosh darn it. It's down as much as Alti. Well, not quite. Not quite even as much as Blocks. It's a little bit better than Blocks and Alti. But I think that's a fair comparison. I would say on risk, it should be about as risky as Alti. I would say, because I wish it would. I wish it was doing better, though. I'll say that. I wish it was doing better. But it's 20% leveraged on the Roundhill universe, whereas Alti chooses some of the craziest stocks there are, but does callers on them. I think they're similar in. I would think they're similar in risk. So I think that's it's what it is. Look at old QLDY only down 1.5%. That's the one right there. I don't know why we all don't just put all our money in that one. That one, CAIE, SBAR. I don't know. I'm just joking, but hindsight, it's easy to pick the ones that have been doing well the past 3 months. The next 3 months, QLDY might be the totally wrong decision to put it in. If the market takes off again, melts up into does another bull run, QLDY would get left behind, I would think, from all these other ones. But in this market we've been in, QLDY and really GPTY for that matter, and really K-Yield for that matter, have been really, pretty decent picks, all things considered, right? Yeah, Mayor, I want to do a follow-up on my hedged, because, even Tom Lee, everyone thinks the bear's coming. There's a jillion ways to do it. I forget what I was talking about. I made a video, and I think I was showing a fund that bought options for you, and I'm trying to think which one was. It was some black swan fund that could only drop like 10%. It was a buffer fund. It's always, but it was a buffer fund. The one I showed was a buffer fund that didn't have capped upside, but it only got about 50% of the upside, but it was uncapped. But anyway, there's a jillion more that I missed, and I've been thinking about it. So Mayor's saying here, KHYB, KHPI. Let's just look really quick at let's just look really quick at FinBiz, so I get them in my mind. But yeah, I realized what I really realized is I need to make a follow up on on that video, but do some ones. There's ones out there nowadays that pay an income also, like Triple QH, Spy H. There was a new one that came out the other day. But anyway, and so I need to redo that video, and I could also throw in QRMI. I missed a ton of other funds that would be decent, you know, if the market's not great this year. Even if it's not a bear market, wonder if the market just goes, wonder instead of being up 20%, the market is flat on the year or down 5% or something. I mean, you know, that's going to kill a lot of people's returns. Jackson, are you okay now, buddy? Everything cool? I think he finally settled down. You all right, Jackson? I don't know why you have to overeat. Anyway, all right. But yes, I'll definitely consider those. KHPI. Okay, so that's the Kensington Hedge Premium. Oh yeah, I've looked into that one before. And look at that. He's finally going to lay down. Good boy, Jackson. Look at this. Look at this assets under management curve. Up and to the right. You know, I mean, now it only has $250 million, but I mean, you know, maybe a good time for more. Now, to be fair though, I mean, this thing in April, it did. I mean, you can't just make yourself immune from all losses. Or you can, I think you can, but I think if you do that, the result, what's left over as far as income, if you're going for income, or what's left over as far as excess return, is just not that. It's not that great. But anyway, this did well. It dropped from what is that? Gosh darn it, 25 to 22. It dropped 3. It dropped. It's down 15%. But in any event, so let's see what they have here. He's just sitting there looking at me. I have 2 monitors, and he's sitting back there between both monitors staring at me. I wish I could take a picture of him. Jackson, what is the matter with you, buddy? Oh, jeez. Anyway, Jackson, behave. He wants to go outside. He's sitting there in the sunlight, and when I say, what's the matter with you, he looks out the window. He wants to, or maybe he needs to go potty. All right, Jackson. We can talk about this stuff. Later, but it looks like some kind of put spread collar they're doing down here. So whatever, we could talk about this stuff later. But yeah, Kensington is a good one, and the other one was KHYB. KHYB is just a bond version, a high yield. I remember looking this up. Crane Asia. Well, okay, I didn't remember it was Asia Pacific. Okay. Look at that on highs. You got to like being on highs. That other one, KHPI, wasn't on highs. That's what I'm saying. Some things can be, I always say things can be too stable sometimes. Stability is good, but stability can cost you money. And I mean, excess stability. Not that this Kensington's not great, but anyway. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I think I need to go back to him. All right, guys, I appreciate you all for being here. Remember, not financial advice. Consult a licensed planner who knows the particulars of your situation. If you'd like to support the station, you can do so at paypal.me/Max Convexity. It looks like I need a new HDMI cable. Oh, well, amongst other things. All right, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day.